Today I'm gonna show you the deadliest freelance in 2K16. This is most suitable for my team, or play now online wherever you want, but it is for the best if you have a superstar team with balance scoring from everywhere. I'll be demonstrating this with the Hawks, and you can see at first I'm hitting all these free balls. At the same time, I'm also hitting some short mid-range jumpers. I'm getting great isolation post-up opportunities. I'm also running very nice high-low action. Yes, all of this is available to you in this one freelance alone. And yep, if you got a good My Team squad, especially a balanced one, this is gonna kill it for you. Now, the freelance itself is obviously the Hawks motion cuts, but the concept you need to understand is that this is gonna be a space or branch attack. Alright? And you're gonna do it in both half court, in transition with pick and fades, pick and roll, post up, free pointers, and many flushes. Now you can see in the statistics in the box score here that I was able to get everybody to play the same amount of time in one half. They all scored, everybody scored, and the scariest part is that everyone had an assist. This freelance Hawks motion cuts allows you to play like this 24/7. And because you play like this where everybody can get points and assists, everyone is in rhythm. So this is perfect for my team, especially if you got a whole bunch of great players. This offense will put all of them in rhythm, and they'll all get assists, they'll all get stats, so they will all be hot. If you run this offense, you will see a lot of players hot throughout the course of a game. I can guarantee you that. Alright, so this is what I mean by attacking in space and attacking in branch. So we're first going to look at the spacing of the offense. This is the Hawks motion cuts set, where you bring the ball up to the wing, and this will initiate the offense with the power forward up top, one at the big down low, and one wing in the strong side corner, and the other wing on the weak side wing position. Now in this instance, we're attacking out of the branch, so if you bring the ball up to the wing, and you swing it to the big man up top, you get these branches. So here I'm using the Hawks motion cuts, and I'm just going with the branches, change it to a handoff flush, easy point. So there I'm following the branch, so that was a branch attack. Now here is a space attack. You can see we're in the same exact kind of formation with the power forward this time in the post, center up top. So they do alternate from time to time, but that just depends on your roster and what the computer likes to do. And at this time, the corner man is on the weak side, and the wing player is also on the weak side. But this time, we're not going to swing the ball up top. Instead, we're going to use the space of the formation. And when you're using the space, all I mean is that you're either going to run pick and roll, pick and fades, or flushes. In this case, we're running a flush. So we're just going to enter the ball. We're going to use this formation, use the space, attack with a flush. Easy look. So in this instance, we were using Hawks motion cuts, but we were using the space and not the branch. Now here, the offense is also very deadly in transition. You can see we were able to grab a defensive rebound, bring it up to the wing, and that started the transition branches. And in this case, we're going to use the branch. So this is a Hawks motion cuts transition branch attack. So you'll see it run here. We're going to follow the branches to the T. We're going to catch, receive, run the pick and fade, and we see a jumper, we're going to take it. So that was a transition branch attack. And this time we get another stop, we're bringing the ball up, and we're going to use the space of the transition attack. We're going to not run the pick and roll, turn it into a pick and roll flush, nothing. We're going to swing the ball around from side to side until we find a wing. Once we find a wing, we're either going to go post flush. There's nothing from the post flush, so we find another wing player up top. This time we're going to go back to the pick and roll. And as you can see, once you run a pick and roll in Hawks motion cuts, it turns itself into a spread out pick and roll. We get a beautiful jumper, swish ball. So yes, those are the basic explanations of how to attack in branch and how to attack in space. Now I'm going to show it to you in detail on how each of these things work. So we'll begin at looking at Hawks motion cuts in half court, and we're going to use the pick and roll to attack in space. So we're using the space of the formation to attack with pick and rolls. So whenever you run a pick and roll in Hawks motion cuts, especially from the middle, what's going to happen? It looks like a 3-2 pick and roll, but it actually turns out into a spread pick and roll. Let's watch it in replay here one more time. So we're swinging the ball around, we get it to our point guard, we run a pick and roll. You see, it looks like a 3-2 pick and roll at the beginning, But here is where the tendencies kicks in. Depending on the shooting ability of your power forward, if he can shoot free balls, he will actually float out here as the other big man rolls in. As you can see, Millsap flows out because he actually can hit freeze. This turns into a high 4 spread 1 pick and roll. We rotate the ball around to the other shooter, Kyle Korver in the corner. Bang, 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 bang. Alright, now let's take a look at another example. Once again, we're going to be attacking in half court. We're not going to use any branches, and this time we're attacking with pick and fades. So you can take a look at the pick and fades here. So this is after we got scored on. We're bringing up the ball, so all the way to the wing as quickly as you can. This will initiate the branches, but we're not using the branches here. We're just going to run a pick and fade on the wing, high side. And if you run a pick and fade with a 3-point shooter, the tendency, he will actually pop out to the 3-point line. So once again, that depends on the tendency of the player. You can see it here again. We're bringing up to the wing. We're running a pick and fade with Millsap. We can also shoot freeze. You can see he stays out at the 3-point line. Forward spacing. We'll walk the ball back to the corner. Base ball, switch ball. You can see it here again. This time we got Humphreys in the wing, so we bring it back to the middle. We run a pick and fade between Hardway and Scott. He throws to the mid-range this time. There is nothing. So we're going to stay patient, work the ball back around, always swing it back to a wing. We flush the wing from the side because the paint is always open. When you're attacking out of Hawks motion cuts, the paint is always open, so there's tons and tons of opportunity for flushes if you're attacking in space and not with the branch. Here we run a pick and fade with Chris Humphreys. He throws back to the mid-range. You see, once again, we drive it into close to the paint. You see how the paint is wide open for flushes. We flush in Schroeder from the, Hardway Jr. from the side. Easy points. So if the initial pick and fade don't work, always focus on using flushes because the paint is always open here. So now we're going to also look at the strongest aspect of the Hawks motion cuts in half court, and that is the strong side post flush. So once again, we're attacking in space, no branches, so we're going to be using flushes, pick and roll, pick and fades. But this time we're only going to use a flush. What we're going to do is you're bringing the ball up to the wing, and if you see this formation where there is one big man and the other 3 guys on the other side, dump it into the big, flush the point guard. This is extremely effective online and offline. It's kind of like a sneaky play. You can see Jeff T bring it up again this time. We're going to dump it in to Horford. We're going to flush Teagan down the low-for pressures too much. Easy basket. This is one of probably the go-to ways to attack out of Hawks motions cut. It's fast and it's effective. You can see it here for the 3rd time, working like a charm. Dump it into the post. We see the spacing. It favors the flush. The paint is always open. Flush the point guard in. Bang. Now obviously, not going to work every time. Nothing does. But here we have the similar formation. Same thing. Remember, never call ISO in Hawks motion cuts. I'm going to say it now, never call ISO. So the flush net doesn't work, so we don't call ISO. We just swing the ball around, keep it to the wings. We understand the paint is always open, never ISO. So we flush in Humphreys because the paint is open. Easy basket again. Smart flushes when you're attacking in space, and never, ever, ever call a quick isolation when you run Hawks motion cuts. Never do it. And here we're actually going to attack in half court with a swing action, but we're going to use the branches. So you see here, I'm bringing up a Teague. Kyrie is giving me that full court press. This is Hall of Fame Sim Cavaliers. We got it to the wing. We're going to stay patient. We'll wait for the branch to initiate. We're not going to attack in space. We're going to use the branches. We're going to turn the handoff into a handoff flush. Once again, paint is open. Easy Q. Now, obviously, in the half court sets, it's very deadly. Now, we didn't attack that much with the branches in half court because it's much more deadly to attack with the space kind of style in Hawks motion cuts in half court. So you want to be using pick and fades, pick and rolls, and flushing at the right times because the paint is always open. And one last time, never ever call ISO. Now, but if you do want to use the branches in this offense, you can do that in half court as I just showed you. But the key to running branches in this is in transition. So once you get a defensive stop, the transition attack in Hawks motion cuts is merciless with branch or in space. Alright, so you can take a look at it here.